In a landmark decision that's already making waves across the United Kingdom, the Supreme Court has ruled that the term woman under the Equality Act refers specifically to biological sex, not gender identity.
The terms woman and sex in the Equality Act 2010 refer to a biological woman and biological sex. But we counsel against reading this judgment as a triumph of one or more groups in our society at the expense of another. It is not.
The ruling came after a legal challenge from the campaign group for Women's Scotland, which argued that certain rights and protections under UK law should only apply to individuals based on their biological sex, not gender recognition certificates. The case centred around Scottish Government guidance issued in relation to a 2018 law aimed at boosting the number of women on public sector boards. The guidance included trans women with gender recognition certificates under the legal definition of woman. However, the UK's highest court ruled that this interpretation was inconsistent with the legal meaning of sex under the Equality Act of 2010. Deputy President of the Supreme Court, Lord Patrick Hodge, clarified that the law must be understood as referring to biological sex, not gender identity. As the decision was announced, women's rights activists celebrated outside the court. Cheers erupted, and placards read messages like, "Women are women, men are men, and only women get pregnant." Susan Smith of For Women Scotland expressed gratitude for the court's clarity.
And today, the judges have said what we always believed to be the case, that women are protected by their biological sex, that sex is real, and that women can now feel safe that services and spaces designated for women are for women, and we are enormously grateful to the Supreme Court for this ruling. This is not about prejudice or bigotry, as some people would say. It's not about hatred for another community. It's just about saying that there are differences, and biology is one of those differences, and we just need protections based on that. And I think that, you know, we are more than happy for safe services and spaces to be provided for other groups of people depending on their needs, but we have to recognise that different people need different things.
The ruling has ignited both celebration and controversy. While some see it as a victory for common sense and legal clarity, others worry it could marginalize trans individuals. But activists like Jo Phoenix, a university professor and longtime campaigner, were jubilant. "It's bloody brilliant," she said. "It defines, once and for all in law, what a woman is."
It's bloody brilliant. It's better than we actually thought it could have been. The real fear is if we would have lost and it had to go back to Parliament to sort it out, it would have been a long, dragged out, horrible battle. But this is quite literally the icing on the cake. It defines once and for all in law what a woman is. And that's something many of us, For Women Scotland has been fighting for 7 years. I've been fighting for 5, so amazing. I am over the moon.
I haven't read the nitty-gritty yet, but the headline that women are biological females, not a man with a certificate, that is wonderful. I mean, it's common sense, it's fundamental reality, but it could have gone really badly, you know. So yeah, I don't think any of us got any sleep last night, and it's just a huge relief.
Really simple. In the judgment, it was read out that the problem of any other interpretation was that it would have given trans people more rights than other people. So this just sets it back to square one. Everyone has equal rights. Not one group is privileged over another.
Importantly, the court emphasized that this judgment should not be read as a win for one group at the expense of another. Instead, the justices underscored the importance of legal equality, ensuring that no one group is given more rights than another. As debates over gender, identity, and equality continue, this ruling marks a significant and emotional chapter in the ongoing conversation around how law and society recognize and protect individual rights in a changing world.